In the early 1800s, settlers began moving along rivers and up the trails, clearing timber and building roofs over their heads in this place we now call home. Hamilton County was created on February 8, 1821, from the western part of White County. The area of the present Hamilton County was part of White County from 1815 to 1821. From 1812 to 1815, it was part of Gallatin County, and before 1812, it was part of Randolph County. It is named for Alexander Hamilton, Revolutionary War hero and the first United States Secretary of the Treasury. The county seat is in McLeansboro. As of the 2010 United States Census, there were 8,457 people, 3,489 households, and 2,376 families residing in the county. The population density was 19.5 inhabitants per square mile. There were 4,104 housing units. Of the 3,489 households, 29.8% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 54.9% were married couples living together, 9.2% had a female as head of the household with no husband present, 31.9% were non-families, and 28.1% of all households were made up of individuals. The average household size was 2.39, and the median age was 43.1 years. The median income for a household in the county was $35,032, and the median income for a family was $50,878. Males had a median income of $45,245 versus $23,491 for females. The per capita income for the county was $21,602. About 8.2% of families and 14.5% of the population were below the poverty line, including 21.5% of those under age 18 and 8.5% of those age 65 and older. Since 1821, when Hamilton County was established, several communities, villages, and small towns have come and gone. Generations have witnessed towns boom and then become obsolete. It seems that 1857 was the first year that many villages and communities were surveyed. Some of your ancestors may remember La Villa, which was surveyed on June 21st, 1854, but did not last long when the railroad avoided going through it. New London was surveyed May 15th, 1857, or maybe Jefferson City, which was platted June 4th, 1857, and originally consisted of 10 lots on each side of Main Street. There is nothing there now. Logansport was located in Crook Township. It was surveyed June 15th, 1857. Eli York was the first merchant, and Tilford Taylor the first saloonist. The post office was established about 1861 with John Hawthorne postmaster. The longest running business was Jug Grocery. The town was laid off by William Logan Malone and named Logansport after him. Jamestown is another town that was surveyed on December 14th, 1857, but has since died a natural death. Other communities included Blairsville, Braden, Bungay, Diamond City, Feakyville, Flint, Garrison, New Bremen, Olgee, Slapout, Thurber, and Tucker's Corner. Other small communities are still considered towns or villages. Delafield is an area that only consists of a little station and agricultural business on the railroad. Some of you may have been through Walpole. It was surveyed on March 11th, 1857, and is now just a wide spot in the road. Macedonia was surveyed on January 20th, 1858, and later became a flourishing little community. Broughton is still a village in Hamilton County. It was surveyed May 4th, 1872. The population was 193 at the 2000 census. However, the village was originally founded in the 1720s by a French woodsman. On February 25th, 1857, it has surveyed and named Rectorville from Rector Creek, which was named for the federal land surveyor John Rector. Dale is an unincorporated community that was surveyed in about 1871 when the railroad was extended to that point. The community was named for Reuben Dale, the owner of a local mill. The community is in the Wabash Valley seismic zone. The biggest earthquake in Illinois history was a 5.4 quake on November 9, 1968, near the community. The quake damaged the Civic Building at Henderson, Kentucky, and was felt in 23 states. People in Boston said their building swayed. Some of you may actually remember the quake. Dale never did become a booming metropolis, but has continued to offer goods and services to the people living in Dale or just driving through. Even today, you can get gas and other supplies at Hunt's Hardware. Hoodville was surveyed on September 28, 1866. One of the previous businesses was a store and mill kept by the Epperson brothers, and J.W. Epperson was the postmaster. Hamilton County woolen mills were erected by Hood and Bowers in 1862 at Hoodville at a cost of $12,000. In 1883, the mills were moved to McLeansboro. It is what was called a one-set mill, having 180 spindle jack and 7 looms. The mill had a capacity of 100 pounds of yarn per day and 150 yards of cloth. The machinery and entire establishment were propelled by a 36 horsepower engine. Bell City, or Bell Prairie as it is otherwise known, was laid out in February 1862. Main Street runs north and south, Market Avenue and St. Charles Avenue east and west. In the original plat, there were 25 lots. Lewis Edition was made April 22nd, 1863, and was quite a flourishing little hamlet. Thackeray is a small town built on the Louisville and Nashville Railway. It is 6 miles east of McLeansboro. It was surveyed on October 6, 1871, and was named after the English novelist William Makepeace Thackeray. The first merchant was David Hamill, who was also the first postmaster. Some of the businesses of the past included a general store, a grocery store, a drug store, and 2 blacksmith shops. The physicians were Z.R. Millard and E.G. Neal. Thackeray was the headquarters for 2 gangs of section hands on the Louisville and Nashville Railway, working 14 men. In 1877, the population was 165. On April 19, 1841, 25 pioneers left Ursingen, Germany, for the New World. They arrived at Piopolis on August 21, 1841. In 1843, additional settlers came from Germany, including Tobias Brummer. The first Mass and first baptism were performed by Father Elisha Durbin from Morganfield, Kentucky, in a log cabin belonging to Nicholas Angle. In 1844, a 40-acre tract of land was deeded to Bishop William Quarters, Catholic Bishop of Chicago. This tract became Piopolis church property. In 1846, the first log church was completed, and first Mass was celebrated on Ash Wednesday. In 1857, a new frame church building was started by architect Tobias Brummer, but was destroyed by a windstorm before completion. In 1860, a frame church was completed with some help from migrants from Clinton County. Bishop Junker of Alton came for confirmation. In 1861, a small rectory, 4 rooms, 2 12 feet square, and 2 smaller rooms was built, and several parishioners left for the Civil War. 1865, when the Civil War ended, several parishioners returned, and a second resident pastor, Father Winterhalter, was installed and also ministered by horseback at McLeansboro, Enfield, Carmi, and Mount Vernon. Morellus Zachman was hired as lay teacher, and Bishop Junker was instructed in getting the Precious Blood Sisters of Burwell, Germany, to locate their covenant to Piopolis. In 1870, a two-story mother house and school frame building was completed at a cost of $3,000, of which Bishop Junker donated $500. On February 2nd, 9 nuns from Gertwell, Germany, arrived by wagon after coming by boat to Shawneetown. They immediately took over teaching at the school and continued until 1964. In 1877, 13 acres of church property was surveyed and laid out into 50 lots to become a small village. In 1879, 16 orphan girls were sent to Piopolis to be taken care of by the nuns. Plans were drawn up for a new church, and 500,000 bricks were baked for this first brick church. In 1880, the foundation was laid for the new church after this frame church was moved aside. In 1881, the cornerstone of the brick church was laid on May 4th, but on August 6th, a storm demolished the west wall while under construction. Following the storm damage, repairs to the church were completed by the end of 1882 at a cost of $12,000. The first couple married in the new church was John and Henrika Reiling. At that time, it was said that the church building was the finest edifice in the county. On August 21st, 2016, Piopolis celebrated 175 years with a huge celebration and a reenactment of the German settlers arriving at Piopolis. There were over 1,000 people in attendance. Dahlgren is a small village located along Illinois 142 in Hamilton County. The historic depot still stands, although there is no public train service. Dahlgren is situated on the Louisville and Nashville Railroad in the northwestern part of Hamilton County, 11 miles from McLeansboro. It began to be settled in December 1870. It was the result of the building of that railroad and was named in honor of John A. Dahlgren, a U.S. Navy officer. He devised a smooth-bore howitzer and introduced a cast-iron muzzle-loading cannon known as the Dahlgren gun. At the time, it is believed that he had an interest in the railroad. The town was originally built on land owned by Abel Kuykendall and A. M. Sturman. The first building was erected by James Steele in 1870 for the purpose of selling goods. Samuel M. Butler began selling dry goods in the same building about March 1871 and continued in the same business until 1883. About the time the town was started, Nathan Garrison established himself in the lumber business, and coupled with that, the sale of agricultural implements. The first mill was built by A.M. Sturman and Sons in 1873. From 1873 to 1883, they ran a sawmill in connection with their flouring mill. The first hotel was built in 1871 by William Carman, who continued as the proprietor for about 2 years. In 1884, David Usry erected the first livery stable. In 1877, the business of the town consisted of 5 dry goods stores, 2 groceries, a hardware store, a drug store, a harness shop, a furniture shop operated by Nathan Garrison, who also dealt in grain and farming implements. Dahlgren had 3 blacksmiths, 2 hotels, livery, and a feed stable. There were 3 physicians, 2 lawyers, and 2 shoemakers. As of the 2010 census, there were 525 people living in Dahlgren. Steve Wilkerson was elected village president in 2013 after the retirement of Jasper Goen, who had served as mayor for 38 years. The village provides basic utility services including water, sewer, and gas. Agriculture remains the primary economic activity of Dahlgren. Other business activity includes retail sales and manufacturing. Businesses operating within the village are Countertop Creations, Dahlgren Building Center, Goen Sales, Wrap Cabinets, Hamilton County Telephone and Communications, Hampson's Trading Post, People's National Bank, other small businesses, and numerous family farms. Dahlgren is located within the Hamilton County Unit 10 School District. Elementary-age children attend Dahlgren Grade School through the 6th grade. Junior high and senior high students are bused to Hamilton County Junior-Senior High in McLeansboro. McLeansboro was laid out in 1821. The original plat contained 36 blocks, 4 of which, in the center of the plat, were occupied by the public square. There were 2 principal streets running in each direction through the plat. Main and Market Streets run east and west, and Jackson and Washington north and south. The public square being bounded by these 4 streets, each of which is 66 feet wide. Outside of these streets were 2 alleys running in either direction, each 14 feet wide, and all around the town was a border 33 feet wide. The lots were 84 in number, each 60 by 180 feet wide. Thomas Slew Jr. surveyed the town June 2, 1821. The original plat contained 20 acres. Since then, numerous additions have been made. McLeansboro was named after Dr. William McLean, who built the first house in McLeansboro, in the northeast corner of the town. The second was by Jarrett Garner, near the southeast corner of the public square. James Allen built the third not far from Jarrett Garner's, and Samuel Dietz IV near the northwest corner of the public square. All of these were made of logs. The first frame house was built by Jesse C. Lockwood, the second by Daniel Marshall, and the third by Daniel Tolley. And it was a long time before any more frame houses were built. Joseph Irvin was the first hatter in the town, and James Allen the first tanner. The first blacksmith was Solomon Collins. Collins' shop was near the northeast corner of the square. The first wagon maker was Samuel Patton, a brother-in-law of Collins. The first tailor was Samuel Dietz, and the first tinner was John S. Kinnear. The first physician was Dr. William B. McLean, the second Lorenzo Rathbone. The first resident attorney at law licensed to practice was Samuel S. Marshall. Charles H. and John H. Hurd, brothers, commenced merchandising in about 1834, conducting their store about 2 years. Charles H. Hurd commenced again in 1837 and followed with the business until 1874 when he retired. The first school in McLeansboro, in a building erected for school purposes, was taught by Theodore Scott, an old soldier of the War of 1812. The pottery ware made in the town was by a Mr. Pike in 1822 or 1823. The first students sent to college from this place were Judge Marshall to Princeton, Kentucky, and Judge Crouch to McHenry College. The growth of McLeansboro has been slow but steady. By 1877, the businesses included dry goods and groceries, drugstores, clothing store, hardware stores, furniture stores, agricultural implements, lumber yards, undertakers, harness and saddle shops, blacksmiths, boot and shoe stores, book and news store, ice dealer, meat markets, confectionery and ice cream shops, a hotel, restaurants, boarding houses, millinery stores, marble cutters, and livery stable. The population of the city was somewhere between 16 to 1700. The City Hotel was destroyed by fire on May 1st, 1889. The city flouring mills were built in 1875 by Coker and Gill, and put in operation August 1st of that year. The building was a frame one, 3 stories high above the basement, 36 by 60 feet, and with the machinery cost about $36,000. In 1879, W.A. Coker, the proprietor, bought out Mr. Gill. The mills had a capacity of 100 barrels of 4 per day, and the machinery was run by a 60-horsepower engine. The People's Mills were erected in 1878 by C. H. Hurd. The building was of brick, 48 by 52 feet in size, and 3 stories high above the basement. It cost about $22,000. There were 4 run of burrs, 3 for wheat and 1 for corn, and the capacity was 100 barrels of 4 per day. Mr. Hurd was the proprietor of the mills. Rice and Papes Mill was built around 1867 and was located on Main Street in the east part of town. It was a frame building and consisted of both grist and saw mill. The grist was used mostly for grinding corn, and the sawing of lumber was the main business of the establishment. It was valued at about $4,000. E.I. Tinkham and Company's bank was established at McLeansboro in September 1855 with a capital of $500,000. Smith Tinkham was president and William Rickcords cashier. Its circulation was secured by bonds of the state of Ohio, and when the bank went into liquidation in 1862, its circulation was all redeemed in gold. The Bank of the Republic was established at McLeansboro in the fall of 1856 with a capital of $1 million. Charles H. Rockwell was president and John Rockwell cashier. Its circulation was secured by bonds of the states of Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, and when, in 1862, on account of the war, it closed out of its business, its notes were redeemed at various and heavy discounts. Hamilton County Bank of antebellum days, like the other two named above, existed only a few years, from the spring of 1855 to 1862. Its circulation, however, being all based on bonds of northern states, was all redeemed at par. Hamilton County Bank was started in 1871 by Challen G. Cloud on the corner of Washington and Market Streets. Mr. Cloud conducted his business alone for some years, and then employed assistants as such became necessary. This was simply a bank of discount and deposit. The bank remained in its original location until the completion of the elegant brick building in 1881, which is where Foxy is currently located. This building remained in use until 1972, when the bank moved to its new location on the corner of Washington and Market, where it is still located today. Hamilton County Bank became Banterra Bank in 1989. The Banterra Bank mission is to be a strong regional community bank delivering financial services that provide long-term value to its customers, employees, and shareholders. At Banterra Bank, they understand that banking is about relationships. It's about understanding your goals and being the financial partner you need to help achieve those goals. Banterra Bank actually began as a small bank in Ridgeway, Illinois in 1975. The history of People's National Bank, chartered as a national bank in 1909, actually began in 1893, when a private firm called People's Bank was founded in McLeansboro, Illinois, by John H. Miller. Mr. Miller, a prominent businessman who later served as Speaker of the Illinois House, led the bank until his death in 1907. In 1909, the trustees reorganized the bank and obtained a national bank charter as People's National Bank. In 1923, People's National Bank assumed a portion of the assets and liabilities of Cloud State Bank, originally organized in 1871 by Challen Cloud as a private bank under the name Hamilton County Bank. People's National Bank also purchased the Cloud State Bank building, which had been built by Challen Cloud and his father, A.G. Cloud, in 1880 to 1882. The distinctive Cloud State Bank building had been designed by the Reed brothers of Evansville, Indiana. Now on the National Register of Historic Places, this building is still home of People's National Bank in McLeansboro and has become a symbol of the long history of the bank as a strong financial institution. Almost 80 years later, on August 8, 1988, shareholders Bill Bonin, an attorney, and his brother Hunt Bonin formed a bank holding company for the purpose of acquiring 100% of the stock of People's National Bank. In 1973, People's National Bank opened a second banking location in McLeansboro at 200 East Randolph Street. In 1999, People's National Bank purchased the former Mercantile Bank located in Dahlgren at 201 West Main. People's National Bank has now been in continuous operation for over 100 years, having survived even the Great Depression. With assets of over $1 billion, People's National Bank continues to offer financial services that meet the needs of individuals and small business owners. The cemetery southeast of the city was established early in 1875. The cemetery was very pleasantly situated and tastefully laid out and kept. There are 2 local funeral homes, Harry Funeral Home and Golson Funeral Home, that offer their services to families at a difficult time. Golson Funeral Home is family owned and operated since 1947. Harry Funeral Home was initiated by a group of interested citizens who felt their community needed options in funeral services. The original owner, Charles M. Johnson, agreed, and the wheels were in motion for construction of, in its day, a state-of-the-art funeral home. The funeral home was the largest of its kind ever constructed in this area, and construction was completed in March of 1975. These businesses have continued to grow using the original ideas of serving the community with quality service at an affordable price. At the time of the 2010 census, McLeansboro had 1,456 housing units and a population of 2,883 people living in an area of 2.29 square miles, and are open for business. With the recent completion of a multi-million-dollar water project, the city has committed resources for improving the delivery of potable water to customers, improving the city's fire rating by having more hydrants along lines, and reducing the amount of water loss due to leakage, according to City of McLeansboro City Clerk. In 2014, we updated our electrical substation, capable of producing 12 to 15 megawatts of electricity with a redundant operating transformer. Also installed was an electronically operated switchgear for our distribution circuits. Currently, we are upgrading our system to 12470Y primary voltage posturing for future expected growth. The Y system provides increased safety with its reclosure system. Being environmentally friendly, we are installing wildlife protection on our upgraded system and replacing all roadway lighting with new LED technologies, which require less energy for more light. The City of McLeansboro owns its own electrical system, which allows it to provide very competitive rates among Midwestern power utilities. Power is provided to the city by Southern Illinois Power Cooperative, a not-for-profit which allows revenue to be reinvested in the city's infrastructure. We are proud of our 6 municipal parks totaling almost 70 acres, offering something for just about everyone. They are developed play areas, fishing docks on Lake McLeansboro, and a quiet nature trails along natural waterways. We also have a 9-hole golf course. Our parks provide clean and healthy environments for recreation and all-season opportunities to enjoy our natural heritage. Our civic-minded societies, clubs, and organizations offer many opportunities to play a larger part in our community. How about Christmas on the Square, Fall Festival, Firecracker 5K, Founders Day, 4th of July celebrations, the Hamilton County Fair, Hamilton Memorial Hospital Foundation Dinner, Hamilton County Unit 10 Foundation Dinner, the H. Allen Smith Literary Competition, Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, Lake McLeansboro Crappie Tournament, Lake McLeansboro Bass Tourney, Relay for Life, Rotary St. Patrick's Day Run, the Tiger Run 5K, and the list goes on of community events celebrating what it means to be us, here, now. McLeansboro is a city zoned for success. McLeansboro is organized into 3 residential districts, 2 business districts, an industrial district, and an agriculture district. The area around the square is now part of a historic preservation overlay district, which will help to keep our late 19th century architecture intact and preserve an important part of our past. Much of the square was built between 1880 and 1920, and 4 buildings within the district are listed within the National Register of Historic Places. These include, as previously mentioned, the People's National Bank and the Cloud Wright Sloan Bonin House on South Washington, St. James Episcopal Church Building, and the McCoy Memorial Library. Our businesses range from agribusiness to cupcakes, electronics to basketry, race cars to graphic artists, and many things in between. While you ponder the many aspects of our community, you can eat at one of our 12 restaurants, including Otten's Pizza, Dairy Queen, Deep South, Foxy, McDonald's, Subway, and Tom's Priced Right Foods. Visit our 3 museums or kick back and get prettied up at one of our many beauty salons, or barbershops, including Natalie Joseph's. Hamilton County residents are reminded to shop local. Shops and retail stores including Irvin's Jewelry, The Liquor Hut, Voppel Home Furnishings, Auto Outlet, and Hamilton County Flooring. Since the early 1800s, this has been and continues to be an agricultural community. Some of our businesses include Gavilon Grain, Pioneer Hybrid, 4R Equipment, Allen Trucking, Fender Mender, Whipple Repair, McLeansboro Auto and Ag, Town and Country Vet Clinic, Hamilton County Farm Bureau, and the University of Illinois Extension. The coal industry has been a part of Hamilton County history. With the industry comes several businesses, including Hamilton County Coal and North Hamilton County Coal. Banking and other financial institutions have always been an important part of the organized community. Today we have several local choices, including Banterra Bank, People's National Bank, Hamilton County Loan, Bowling & Associates, Edward Jones, Katrina Robertson Accounting, and Monroe Accounting. Hamilton County is home to several government, insurance, marketing, and legal services, including Marianne Hopfinger, County Clerk, and Beth Sandusky, Circuit Clerk, Chapman Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, Draper Insurance, Hamilton County Water District, Trade Industries, Sea Service Family, Consulting, Van Winkle and Van Winkle, Stringer Creative, CJ Realty, Dana Communications, Fox Communications, and Times Leader newspaper. Other specialty shops include Cook Engraving, Craddock Pest Control, McLeansboro Space Center, STC Incorporated, Tri-5 LLC, and Wilson's Computers. Hamilton County is extremely lucky to have access to health care right here at home, including Hamilton Memorial Hospital, Harry Ambulance, Heartland Women's Health Care, Southern Illinois Health Care, and York Pharmacy. Hamilton Memorial Hospital started with an idea and a belief that the citizens of Hamilton County deserve the services of a hospital in the county. Citizens of the county, working under the guidelines of the Hospital District Act in 1957, began collecting petition signatures in 1957, calling for the creation of a hospital district. The petitions were filed on June 4, 1957, and a hearing was held July 13th of that year. The court found that the legal number of signatures had been obtained, sufficient notice and publication given, and it therefore was ordered that an election be held on Saturday, September 14, 1957. An election was held, and the results of the election were canvassed on September 20th, with the results that 2,680 voters chose yes, and 726 voted no. Therefore, Judge Charles Jones ordered that the territory comprising all the county of Hamilton, except that part of the village of Macedonia, which lies within the county of Franklin, shall henceforth be an organized hospital district under the Hospital District Law and named Hamilton Memorial Hospital District. A tremendous amount of work and effort was involved in organizing the district, and much more would take place before the first patient would be admitted on May 20th, 1960. In July 2000, a community survey was conducted regarding the Hamilton Memorial Hospital District. Results of the survey showed strong community support of the hospital district. 75% had an above-average perception of the hospital district and the quality of service it performed, while 100% would recommend the district services and felt that the community needs a local hospital. The Hamilton Memorial Hospital District is proud to have served the residents of Hamilton County and its surrounding areas since 1960. The district, like the healthcare industry in general, has experienced many changes since its inception over 57 years ago. The district is committed to continual growth and providing the highest quality healthcare available to our patients. The district is truly thankful to the citizens of Hamilton County for allowing it to serve them, and look forward to many more years of meeting the healthcare needs of the area. As you can see, the businesses of Hamilton County have come and gone. When the need arises, the businessmen and women think outside the box and build a strong community by investing in the future of Hamilton County. Just as the generations before us united to reach a common goal, the Hamilton County Chamber of Commerce is working to build a bright future. The mission of the Hamilton County Chamber of Commerce is to advance business interests through education, networking, marketing, legislation, and economic initiatives. The Hamilton County Chamber of Commerce is currently comprised of over 65 members, including home-based businesses, nonprofit organizations, and large corporations. Our chamber works hard to ensure a positive and proactive presence in the community. We want to see our members succeed and make the most of their membership. Our job is to serve our members, whether it be through promotion, providing networking opportunities, or assisting each business or organization to thrive and reach their goals. We are actively involved in our community. Our events, projects, and overall objectives are made possible by our valued members' generous contributions of time, effort, and sponsorships. Working together, we make the difference. Working together, we make this community our home.